Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, the humiliation of it. To think that it's come to this. But as I say, yes, I'm very grateful to Appleyards for letting me have this bike while they service the Super Meteor. Now, I hope you've enjoyed those videos. The last 3 videos, they're all really part of one long bike ride that I did with a subscriber of mine, Andy. Thank you very much, Andy, for showing me some routes I wasn't particularly familiar with. And hopefully the last one you will have seen is the absolutely glorious, spectacular, stunning, beautiful ride from Sladeburn to Bentham, right across the Pennines. Absolutely cracking run, and I commend it to you on any sort of bike. So yeah, picking up the Super Meteor, first service done, so I'll be able to give it a bit more beans now. And explore its true potential. They are mapped slightly differently to the Interceptor and Continental GT. I think I'd probably call it long-legged, lazier mapping. But there feels to be a good bit more grunt earlier on in the rev range. The torque seems to kick in a little bit earlier. Great bike. Love the looks of it, love the way it rides, love the way it handles. Not too extreme at all for a cruiser. In terms of the foot position, the forward foot positions are very, very benign indeed. They're not in Harley Davidson territory. Well, I'll be candid with you. The performance of this channel has nosedived for reasons I'm not entirely sure of. Now, it might be because I now have the Super Meteor and not the Interceptor or the Classic 350. Because certainly the Classic 350s seem to have quite a following. But I did undertake that there would always be a Royal Enfield, and that's why I ended up with the Super Meteor. And I'm not just on about a dip in subscriptions and views, both the numbers of views and the watch time on a monthly basis, but not just a dip, but an absolute massive nosedive. Well, I won't go into the hard figures because they probably won't mean anything to you, but week on week now for the past 6 weeks they've just dropped off the cliff edge. Now, I don't know whether it's because of the change of bikes. I'd like to hope that it isn't, because so many people said, look, don't matter to me what bikes you've got, as long as the content's the same and the beautiful riding landscapes are the same, etc, etc, etc. Don't care what you're on. And a few people said, well, as long as it's a Royal Enfield. So I had rather hoped I'd ticked most of those boxes, fulfilled most expectations by not moving away from the Royal Enfield brand. Not that I would ever really want to. But whether or not it's due to the fact that the Interceptor and the Classic, or either the Interceptor or the Classic, are no longer in the garage, I don't know. Is it just the time of year? Don't know. Is it the fact that I'm not reviewing as many bikes out of Appleyards? because I've just about reviewed them all, although there will be one more to come, which will be a bit of a surprise to you. I'm not sure. It's bringing a little tear to my eye. But, or maybe I've been shadow banned, maybe I said something naughty, maybe I've expressed some opinions that haven't gone down particularly well. You never know when somebody's gonna bellyache to YouTube about you and get you shadow banned. And if you don't know what shadow banning is, basically it's a stealthy way, i.e. under your radar completely, of curtailing the reach and exposure of your channel. So the YouTube algorithms can be tweaked, basically, whether that's done by a human being or whether it's done by AI, I don't know, but they can be tweaked if it's felt that you're encroaching on certain verboten areas for discussion and debate. They can tweak your channel to make sure it doesn't have as much reach or exposure. Basically it means nothing like as many people get to see it. So I don't know what it is, but I'm going to persevere. I mean, at one point this morning when I saw just how much everything had plummeted, including revenue, of course, which keeps the channel going, does revenue. It obviously things like memory cards and camera equipment, and it doesn't last forever, and what have you, and fuel, of course, to go out and film these things, etc, etc, etc. So not without its consequentials, shall we say, but I shall persevere nonetheless. But yeah, this morning I sort of looked at a further dip, and I just thought, oh, can I be bothered? Can I be bothered anymore? You know, if this is the way it's going. But that won't be right. It wouldn't be right at all, particularly to those of you that have been absolutely faithful and loyal and supportive and very positive in your comments. So no, I will do my level best to get 2 videos out per week, and wherever it's possible in terms of the weather, to do that out and about in the beautiful Yorkshire landscape. That's exactly what I will be doing. And of course my ambition is actually, it's quite a modest one. It's to get to 10,000 subscribers, because when you get to 10,000 subscribers you do have value, and you get to test ride bikes that you don't get if you're below that threshold. I've approached the likes of Royal Enfield and Triumph and various dealerships, and they've just either chucked me a deafener or told me to piss off, basically, in not so many words. So it can be quite disheartening, but you just got to have a bit of a thick skin and crack on and not try and take it too personally. But basically, my experience is that below 10,000 subscribers not many people are interested. The exception would be Appleyards here, where we're coming to now. These nice people here, these kind people here, will be the exception, because the minute I approach them, oh hey, audible warning instrument, the minute I approached them, they were happy to let me ride some of their bikes. So anyway, that's enough belly aching for now. I'm gonna collect my bike, which is there. See you in a bit. Right, so here I am at Appleyards collecting the old Super Meteor after its first service, and have a look at this here bike. Not one I've come across previously, but it's an MBP C1002V 1000cc inline V-twin Harley Davidson lookalike, and it's just waiting to be PDI'd here at Apple Yards. And look at the size of that tyre. And all being well, I will take this out for a test ride as and when it's had its initial overhaul. So there's one to whet your fancy, a cruiser you've probably not heard of, MBP, Mike Bravo Papa C1002 V for Victor. Stay tuned. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Nice looking bike.
Yeah, once it's ready, we'll ring you, and then you can come down and take it out.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Appreciate it.
You'll have from there too.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Take care now. See you. Bye-bye. Right, so a little teaser for you there. Not come across one of those before. MBP. It is one of the ever-increasing Chinese-made marks that are coming onto the market. And awful lot of bike there. Earlier on, I was sat on it. It's surprisingly light for a 1000cc cruiser. Surprisingly light and well balanced. And would you believe it comes in at something like £9,400? £9,400 for a cruiser like that. It's got cruise control, it's got all the electronics. What a thing. But anyway, and there's the Suzuki V-Strom 800DE that so impressed me, that very bike, when I reviewed it earlier this year. And still say that's one of the best adventure bikes money can buy. I was very impressed with that. So, she's had her oil and filter change, her chain check, and her valve clearances attended to. Can't get enough of that sound. So let's see if I can get back before Storm Bebet spanks me. So I'm going over to Tops. Yeah, so there's that little scooter I had, Royal Alloy. It's a cute little thing. Oh, little cubby hole at front there. Just a little twist and go. Very economical. Very nippy. Oh, here comes the rain. Help me God. Tell you what, there's been some bugger hiding round corner here waiting till I've come out of Apple Yards there and finished kelling, and then done a bloody rain dance. That's what it is. Always happens to me. Well, bollocks to you. And dance all you want. I'm a Yorkshireman, we put us washing out in stuff like this. A lot of people who either own Super Meteors or have test ridden this particular model with the screen on sort of been complaining that there's too much buffeting from the screen, but I can't say that I found that to be the case at all. I'm not saying it's the sort of protection that I'd get on the Pan-European with its screen elevated, but neither could I say that there is any undue amount of turbulence that you wouldn't get in any case without a screen. So, and there is that little bit more sort of weather protection for your chest area. Do I get aftermarket exhausts for this? Unless I'm prepared to take a punt on buying from India, and bearing in mind they're all sort of 300 quid touch. The only ones currently available are the Enfield Precision brushed stainless steel pipes from Hitchcock's. The Tech Bike Parts cans from Tech Bike Parts out of stock. Those are the ones that my pal Gazza VFR Mitch has got on his Interceptor, and they sound the dog's bollocks. Not that dog's bollocks make a sound unless they're knocking together like one of them their 1970s executive desktop toys, if you remember them. Hey, hey! You remember CJ had one of them, didn't you? Do you remember CJ from the Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin, or the Rise and Fall of whatever it was, Leonard Rossiter? An old CJ, you know. I didn't get where I am today. Yeah, well, he had a set of them steel knackers, didn't he? Yeah, so I suppose exhaust don't sound like the dog's bollocks, but you get me drift. Certainly don't sound like Eddie's bollocks, because he ain't got any. Hey! But I wasn't responsible for that. He had his knackers nipped in a previous incarnation. I think while German Shepherd Rescue had him. I think as a matter of policy. Because he's a feisty bugger. I think somebody might have had an altercation with him one morning and thought, right, that's it, he's having his knackers nipped, we've had enough of this. Way too much testosterone floating around. But he's a right bugger now. God knows what he was like prior. Any road up. How did we get onto dog's bollocks? Oh yeah, exhaust cans. So there's only Enfield Precision ones. So I might just, because these OEM ones sound and look excellent. But of course OEM exhausts have to comply with Euro 5. So you're not getting the full basso profondo rock and roll potential of the engine from stock exhausts. But these they sound excellent. So some aftermarkets, I think something like the Enfield Precisions or the Lex-Tex, if I could get any, that I had on the Interceptor, they sound absolutely superb. Yeah, so I don't want to bellyache anymore about the wavering fortunes of the channel. To be fair, when I first started out, I never thought I'd be at 5,100 and whatever subscribers. But there's just been the one that comes. God, I will bellyache a little bit more about it. Because obviously, yeah, on my YouTube channel, obviously I get analytics about the performance. It gives me all sorts of demographic trends and stats regarding audiences and views and amount of time and repeat visits and etc, etc. And it's fair to say that 2/3 of the people that view my channel are not subscribers. So please, 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 if you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It don't cost you a penny. Not a penny, you can unsubscribe in a breath. But the figure that did give me the most cause for concern, the one that I first looked at, was the number of views of the channel per month. So you get a rolling 28-day comparison of your viewing figures. And back in the summer, when I was running the 3 bikes and mainly the classic 350 and the Interceptor, and was in the thick of doing reviews of all the new 2023 bikes from Appleyards, I was at something like 150,000 views per month. And as of this morning, that figure is down at 72,000. So that is a huge drop, and it can only be either one. It's either something to do with content, or it's something to do with the extent to which the channel is being put out there. Its reach and exposure. So anyway, yeah, so that's been the big figure of concern. I won't go into the rest, it's boring really. But I shall persevere anyway for the reasons that I outlined earlier. So running sweet as you like this bike now, and storms permitting, I will run this bike through the winter. When the weather takes a turn for the worse, but it's still possible to film, I'll more than likely be on the Pan-European. But if the weather's relatively benign, I shall be out on this, because I'm going to give it a good old coating, every nut and bolt, every little sinew of this bike in XCP rust protector, and fingers crossed that'll do the trick. Right, that's enough of that old bollocks for today. Please, if you can, click a like, click a subscribe, feel free to share. If you're feeling particularly generous, please feel free to make a modest donation. It is a modest donation, and no pressure, by clicking on that thanks icon below this video if you are watching it on a device other than a television. I come to think of it, no, we're right into conspiracies now. I'm going to say, come to think of it, the downturn in performance came right on the back of sticking that super thanks icon on as well. But I'm reading too much into it now, far too much. So yeah, please, if you can, subscribe, click a like, share this video, feel free to comment, as long as it's decent and constructive, because I do get a few comments telling me what a bell end I am, and don't waste your breath, because I know what a bell end I am, so I don't need anybody else to tell me thank you. So yeah, that's enough of that. I'm starting to waffle now. There you go, that's the River Aire here at Ireland Bridge in Bingley, and that there, in a couple of days time, after this storm's passed, is going to be absolutely raging. There's the other side, just alongside the Brown Cow pub, if you're ever in this neck of the woods. Okay, so thanks for watching. Until the next time, ride safe, be kind, and I'll see you soon. Cheery bye.